This is Matt for Behind the Gloves in association with S-Chan Boxing. I'm delighted to be joined by Matchroom's Eddie Hearn. Eddie, we're back, fight camp. Excited?
Well, I hope it's a bit cooler on fight camp, Matt, because Jesus Christ, I've done about £7 today, but tremendous event. You know, I mean, fight camp was really special last year because we were right in the shit. Not just, you know, boxing, but the whole country. And you know, we come up with something that made people smile and gave boxing a kick up the arse. And I never thought we'd do it again. Like when I created it the first time around, I didn't think I would do this every year, but it was so big and so successful and the numbers were so good that this time we're going to do it again, but bigger and better and with fans as well. And obviously it launches the start of our new Dazn deal, which is important to get off to a big start. And I think the shows that we've got already, plenty more to be announced as well, but some cracking fights on the bill, particularly the main events.
Is there a little bit more pressure going into this now? Because I know now you've got Matchroom Media Production and they'll be taking creative, obviously in cohesion with Dazn. So is there a big pressure now to make sure you get this one, the first one, absolutely right?
Of course, but pressure creates diamonds, right? I mean, sometimes you can be in a relationship that goes a bit stale. You know, I had a tremendous run with Sky. They've been brilliant partners, but just needed someone that matched our ambition, and that's Dazn. So yes, from a production level, Matchroom Media will be taking care of all the live production. We'll be recruiting all the talent. You'll see that announced this week. You're going to love it because I believe I'm one of you. I think I know what you want or what you want, you know. I've seen it over the years. I've seen the comments. I've seen, you know, the reaction from fans non-stop. It's in my hand all the time. And I'm taking that on board. So I'm trying to create a destination for you, for fight fans. And it's a destination that's going to create unbelievable value for money. And for once, I might be a little bit popular, because I've been fighting people for years about these pay-per-views that you feel might not be a pay-per-view, and I always stand by we've given value, but now we're going to give you unbelievable value, and I don't even have to sell it to you this time around. Do you know what I mean? So all these, you know, Eddie, do you think this is, tell us why this is pay-per-view. I don't even have to do that anymore. So although there's a lot of pressure in the deal, I just feel so happy that I can deliver this for fight fans, and I know that I can look myself in the mirror and say, fuck me, what we're doing here is on another level, and this is just the start of our global expansion, of which is already in full flow.
I'll just touch on the deal a little bit more. Obviously Dazn at the minute, the price point's $199. I mean, it's a no-brainer, absolutely no-brainer. We've had that many Canelo shows.
Yeah. But,
obviously it's going to get bigger, but in terms of a price point, is it going to go up too much? Do you know what I mean? Or is it going to go up just a little bit?
You're going to be very pleasantly surprised by what the price point will be. You know, in this, Matt, like Dazn, although we've been working together for a long time, they're probably still getting to know me a little bit, where everyone thought that I ran Sky, and I guess everyone's going to think that I ran Dazn. Neither are true.
Did you put Mayweather Logan?
No, definitely not. I'm not taking that one. But this is a good example where I'm not going to talk about the price point, because for now it's $199. For fight camp it's going to be $199. I promise you, you're going to be very pleasantly surprised by what the price point will be. And it is unbelievable value. I mean, right now, to be honest with you, the great thing about $199 was they have so many subscribers now already, through Canelo Callum Smith, through Ryan Garcia against Luke Campbell, and Canelo Billy Joe, that we're like in such a good position. Like we could have been standing here today saying, right, we're off.
Yeah.
You know, 10,000, 100,000, but you know, they've got hundreds of thousands of subscribers already before we even start our live content and our live fight night. So I'm really confident and I'm really excited, and I know that this is something that's been created for fight fans, for people who love the sport of boxing, or for people who watch boxing occasionally. You can watch it anytime, anywhere, any place, and anywhere in the world. And I can go around the world with one hat on and saying all my shows are on Dazn. Wherever you are in the world, you can watch Matchroom on Dazn. And this is so unique, and streaming is the future of broadcast, and this is a massive deal for us.
In terms of the actual content and what's going on, the fights that you've announced, I mean, Conor Benn versus Granados. Granados won't take a step backwards, and so Conor won't. Yeah. So that one, Jazza Dickens, in the rematch against Kid Galahad, and one that stood out for me, because I've seen Bolotnik this year, is Boatsi versus Ricard. That is an absolute bloodbath. What's your favourite sort of pick out of all that? Even some of the ones that are on the undercards.
I think when you look at fight camp last year, you know, there's 3 fights away from the pay-per-view card. The headline fights were ones that would be sitting 2 or 3 fights down. You know, look, Ben is an absolute star. You know, his numbers on Sky have been huge. His numbers digitally, socially, huge. And Granados is a tremendous fight for him. You know, I know he's talking about, you know, Sean Porter and these guys. Let's just get another step up from Samuel Vargas. This kid's going to come and bring it. He won't take a step backwards. This will be an absolute all-out war. I love Billum Smith against Tommy McCarthy. British, Commonwealth and European title. They're the kind of fights that we need, like all the way down the cards. Anthony Fowler, good step up for him against Roberto Garcia. Shannon Courtenay defending her world title. Campbell Hatton back. I love Yildirim against Jack Cullen. I think it's an absolute war. You know, I love Sandy Ryan, obviously making her debut. Week 2, I love Jazza Dickens against Kid Galahad. It's 2 Brits fighting for the world title. It's an absolute game changer for their life and their career. Also on that card, Fabio Wardley will be in a big heavyweight fight. Our Italian star Maxime Prodan will fight Florian Marcoux in an absolute all-out war in a welterweight fight. Got Johnny Fisher stepping up against Josh Sandlin. Got Ellie Scottney on that card. You've got Ebony Bridges coming back to fight Beck Connolly on that card as well. Week 3, you are right. You know, a lot of the reaction we've had is people talking about Buatsi against Bolotniks. People have been crying out for Buatsi to take a step up. This is it, and this is probably outside of the world champs. He's probably one of the most informed fighters in the division, Bolotniks, right now. He's flying, and you're right, that will be brutal. Felix Cash on that card, Cash Farouk, Michael McKinson in a really good fight against Ranowski, Natasha Jonas returning on that card, Savannah Marshall defending her world title. So it's like it's absolutely stacked every week.
Just on Savannah Marshall now, you brought her up. Clarissa Shields made her MMA debut the other night, got a knockout victory. Looked impressive. Any further negotiations on that? Is there any movement in terms of getting that fight on?
Not yet. I mean, I think I've made it clear to Clarissa's team. I think everyone knows that's the biggest fight for Clarissa, and it's certainly the biggest fight for Savannah. So it's the fight we've all got to look to do. Savannah will box in August, and I'd like to see her box a big fight, maybe even in America later in the year. And I think if we don't do it this year, we should do it at the beginning of next year. But we have to make the fight. First things first, let's see Savannah get a good name under her belt on August the 14th.
Just before you go, just move on to the heavyweight scene. I know you've answered it a million times, but are we close to seeing AJ and Usyk being announced? I know Tottenham's been on the cards, but that's what Sky were reporting. How close are we from a deal?
Yeah, we're pretty close now. I mean, I think that we're in a position where Usyk is on board with that fight, Alex Krasuk's on board with that fight, AJ's on board with that fight. We've sent them the contract. They've just sent back today a couple of questions, nothing major. September 18th or 25, I believe you'll see that fight.
And finally, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, the trilogy. A lot of people have said Deontay Wilder may be a bit more dangerous in this fight because he's got absolutely nothing to lose. What's your opinion going into that? Is it going to be a repeat, or are we going to see something completely different?
I mean, look, 2 fights where Fury's won them both easily. You know, I know the first fight was a draw, but it was ridiculous, and the second fight was a mismatch. He's always dangerous, Wilder, but he's technically very limited. So providing Fury's on point, I don't see him losing that fight. But, you know, it's heavyweight boxing. But, you know, hopefully he gets the win.
AJ Fury for the end of the year, all being well?
Or even January, February. You know, we're not going until September. But, you know, I think we've done enough talking about that. Let's deal with 2 good heavyweight fights and then move on.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for talking to Behind the Gloves, and I appreciate your time, bud.
Cheers, mate.
Hey Fight fans, it's Michelle Joy Phelps. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you do so by clicking this icon right here, or else